What's up YouTube? It's Donovan, and today I just wanted to show you how I set up my Giga Delay on my smaller board and what different effects I use on it, why I use them, and then I can show you a little bit about how to set up a Giga Delay at the end of the video. Now first of all, on my manual channel, this is the channel that obviously the controls, what they're set to, that's what you're going to get in this channel. That you don't preset, you don't store anything on this channel. What these are set to is what you're going to get. So I leave mine at an analog setting with the tone cranked up pretty good to give it a nice bright analog tone. And the effect level cranked up pretty high and the feedback above 9 o'clock a little bit. So I'll show you what I use this for. Basically just to get that nice Nigel Hendroff, U2, the Edge slapback. Alright, my second setting I have set to a quarter setting. So every time you hit that button, that's the tempo that it's going to slap back at. Alright, my second setting, I have this stored at a reverse delay. I use this for some pad stuff. I'll add some reverb to it and just let it do its thing. Alright, my third setting I have set to an eighth, and I basically use this for songs in 6/8 to get a quarter, or to get a dotted eighth setting out of it. So I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and my last setting I have set to another quarter, but this one has a lot more feedback and a lot more effect level to give it a lot more of a ring out, and it slaps back for a lot longer. Alright, so that's the different uses that I have for my Giga Delay, the different effects I use it for. So, like I said, just to go through how to set it up real quick, I normally use my favorite, as I said earlier in the video, my favorite delay, which is the dotted eighth delay to get that U2 sound. I use that as my manual so that I can tweak it on the fly and I can always change it without having to store the effects. So, that's just my preference, is to have my favorite one in the manual position. Other people choose to do it differently than that. Now, just on how to make an effect, first you got to pick what slapback you like, which you choose by this button. That changes this little thing right here. You choose what you want the slapback. The most common ones are the quarter, the dotted eighth, and the eighth. So you choose what you want in there depending on what application. And so I'm going to set mine to a dotted eighth, set mine to a dotted eighth, say 120 BPM. So say I want the effect level down on that. And maybe the feedback down a little bit. I want a very subtle delay. And sometimes you have to move the knobs all the way up and all the way back to reset them. Yeah, that was the case there. Now, and say you want it to be a smooth delay. Switch it to smooth. Give it a little bit of a different texture there. Alright, now whenever you figure out what you want, you hit this right button, the light will start blinking. You hit it again, that setting's saved. And you do that with all 4 delays, and you have your DD20 set up. Another few quick tips. If you hit both of these lights at the same time, your LEDs back there will stay on, keeping the backlit screen lit all the time. Okay, and also guys, this up here, I have all of my settings set to BPM, and you have to write that just like everything else, just like all of the other effects. But in order to change it from BPM to milliseconds, you hold down this tap button. That will change it to milliseconds. Now, I use BPM. It seemed like the pedal came set in milliseconds. But for my application, playing in a church, it's easy to set my BPM. So you hold this tap button, and it will change to BPM. You can switch it up like this, push down this button and go down. That gives it a more drastic effect. You'll go up a lot faster in your BPM to 1100. Alright guys, so that's the basics of how to set up a DD20, the basics of what I use it for. I appreciate you watching, and I hope that this video helped you. And if it did, please share it, like it, and subscribe. Alright, thanks.